to the next one, man. Hey, remember I've been telling you about this. I've been telling you about this group AIPAC.
Yes.
It said propaganda machine. New York Congressmember Jamaal Bowman on AIPAC's $25 million campaign to unseat him. They spent $25 million to get this guy. We speak with Congressman Jamaal Bowman of New York, one of the top targets for pro-Israel groups seeking to oust lawmakers who have led calls for a ceasefire in Gaza. Bowman is a former Bronx middle school principal who won his seat in 2020 before becoming a member of the so-called squad of progressives in Congress. The powerful lobby group AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, could spend as much as $25 million to support George Latimer, Bowman's rival for the Democratic nomination in New York's 16th district, which would make it the most expensive primary fight in U.S. history. It's unprecedented, says Bowman, who calls it despicable for the group to target him for his anti-war stance. They don't want anyone to be critical of the state of Israel, even though an honest critique will lead to the ongoing safety and security of the people of Israel and hopefully
that's so crazy.
Palestine.
That's so crazy how they're like, you can't, they're trying to make it where you can't criticize them for anything. I saw that before the war in Gaza, they were saying that. Like, you know, it's crazy. Macklemore came out and made a song. And the thing was him, like, they shut him down because he came out and he just had a big nose on, being goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like a fake prosthetic nose. And they were like, oh, you're making fun of Jewish people. And this.
When did he made a song about the war?
Yeah, about the war and got recently.
Just he had a big nose on.
No, this is years ago. He came out, he was just goofing around, he had a costume on, right? Just had a big nose on. And they just jumped on him like, oh, you're talking about you're making fun of Jewish people. Remember, even Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx was like, yo, don't forget, they even killed Jesus. And Jennifer Aniston came out like, oh, that's anti-Semitic, da-da-da-da-da. And like, what are you talking about? These people did kill, they were talking about his friends, people's closest to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy how they try to say this one country that's not in America, but they have so much money and influence. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's nerve-wracking and it's upsetting.
When you put up $25 million for a House of Representative Congress seat, that's a huge amount of money. I mean, you could probably get one spent for $1 or $2 million, maybe $4 or $5 million. I'm not absolutely sure. It's New York, so a little bit more money there. But at the same time, $25 million from one super PAC, from one lobbyist corporation, they really want you out there. He's a member of the squad, which has AOC, Omar, and it's a few other people, like women of color, pretty much people of color. All
Somalian lady,
yeah, she's from Somalia. Yeah. Lillian Omar, and I think it's another one too, as well. A few other ones as well that are all a member of this group. And so, I mean, they're spending a lot of money to get these people out of office. We need to really pay attention. We keep saying this. I'm gonna keep harping on this, to AIPAC and what these PAC organizations are out here doing. This is what we need to be doing. This is the problem. When we talk about, when he goes into, oh, what have they done for us? It's because what they get our vote, and we don't come back again for 4 more years and went to the presidential races. It sparked up, and that's where we get sparked up again. We forget there's House members that we need to vote for, and there's Senate members that we need to vote for, and at the same time, there's mayors and there's Congress and there's city councilmen in your neighborhoods.
Yeah, you got to start from the bottom.
You got to vote across the board, and then at the same time, not just voting, have the power of people who are putting money into a lobby for us to make these people do what we need them to do, because this is what they're doing. They're making sure that their dollars are being spent in the right place to be able to get the people in place to get the job done that they need to have.
They just had the House pass, like we said on the last show, they had the House pass a bill to sanction the court that's going to hold them accountable.
Yep. I mean, and they jumped at doing it. Even after the White House said don't do it, they didn't care. They were getting it done for them. Basically, they just want to, they know that it's not going to get passed by the Senate. They just want to be on record for saying that they did it. And they want anyone to be on record for being against it, because whoever's against it, they know they're not getting money. Right now, this is what made this war so hard on the Democratic Party, period. Because if Joe Biden's against this war right now during an election year, I'm defunding all your candidates. And you're giving somebody $25 million. Imagine what you're giving everybody else.
That's a lot of money.
They're probably spending hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars on campaigns, man, across America. But you got to remember, you know how much Israel gets from us every single year? Like $3.3 billion. And however we give it to them, they can spend it and do whatever they want with it. I'd take $1 billion of that and put it back in your pocket just to control what's going on in your politics. Who wouldn't? This is why we shouldn't be giving them anything.
Shouldn't be giving nothing. They're not a struggling country.
At all. You know what I mean? They you know what we're going to end up ultimately doing? We've already talked about. Joe Biden's already said it. Went on our page and we spoke about it. Basically, that they want us to come in after the war is over and help clean up and rebuild Gaza. Why the fuck would we do that?
Remember, they were trying to make it a law where if the college students protested against Israel, they were going to send American civilians, American citizens, over there to go rebuild.
I mean, not even just go rebuild, be a part of the armed forces, all that. It's just this is the kind of control that this pact has over America. They've set an unprecedented amount of control. They control, our House Speaker. They're controlling everybody, Democrats and Republicans. First, Schumer came out and asked for Netanyahu for Netanyahu to step down. Then he came out and was like, hold an election. You guys need to hold an election right now. But now all of a sudden he's endorsed Netanyahu coming and speaking in front of a joint session of Congress.
And then Donald Trump was just he was just on Sean Hannity calling Chuck Schumer. He say he's acting like a Palestinian. That's not how I want a president to speak. I don't care what you talk about. You don't really that means you have disdain for these people.
Absolutely, he has disdain for him. He's the president who came out and named Jerusalem as the capital.
He sure did
of Israel. And that's been as contentious. That Jerusalem was split apart intentionally.
Jerusalem is a neutral place. It's the Holy Land, and so everyone owns it.
Palestinians and for Jewish people. It was intentionally done. He came out and pandered more than anyone else. This is why we should never just sit out. I mean, I definitely am against us ever sitting out any election, especially when we know our best interests are not at hand. They're just not. Whether or not we are uniformed and have a unified front, we need to go out and re-elect people who are there, and then continue to push forward what we need to do to get ourselves ready for the next election cycle.
And this message goes out to all those people that got 17 email accounts because you keep trying to use them free trials on Netflix. Put your money where your mouth is.
Absolutely.